Hello everyone, and welcome back to Tyranny. Last we left, we arrived at the Forsaken camp, and now we're going to be meeting with the Voices of Nerat and the General of the Forsaken. These two factions existed before Kairos' reign happened, but now they're going to hopefully be allied and working together. However, old habits die hard, and have to balance their new loyalty to Kairos with their previous grudges. Slow down a moment. I mean, we're both eager to watch the Archons bicker over tactics like a pair of magpies, but I need to ask you something first. What is it? Voices of Nerat told me that you've come as a mediator. Considering the source, well, I can't help but feel I'm only hearing half the story. So let's have it. What's so special about you? I'll be honest. Yeah, the Voices of Nerat asked you to spy on me. That's a good question. Well, are you even surprised? He's the Archon of Secrets. Knowing in advance is his business. So snatching him any advantage over Graven Ashe, the General of the Forsaken. Those two compete like a couple of new recruits for a spot around the fire. It's nothing nefarious. The Voice is just curious why you're here. If you wanted to know more, you wouldn't have been able to suss it out that easily. He would have sent one of his scarier peons in my stead. Here to deliver an edict of Kairos. I gain loyalty. That makes a crazy kind of sense. Considering how long the siege has taxed the armies, I understand why Kairos would send you with an edict to speed things along. Have you read it? Do you know what it says? The Archons must claim the Ascension Hall by Kairos' Day of Swords, or all will perish. Yeah, I want to be flat out honest with her. One more thing for the Archons to fight over. Well, thank you for cluing me in. If Kairos sends any lightning our way, just tell me when to duck. What else has the Voices told you? Only I could find you in the Edgering Ruins. Truthfully, I could have picked you out of a crowd. You're the only one who hasn't spent the last few months in the stink of the Matani River. Alas, there's a forced nature to it. Why so suspicious? Just a feeling I got. When the Archons are together, the air gets as taut as a bowstring. I can't help but think no amount of compromise will get them seeing eye to eye. Why do you think the Archons are at odds? I've been with the Scarlet Corps since the early days of the Conquest, so I can say that it's been building for a year or so. There's an energy about those two, like a pair of storms moving to collide. I heard tell that Graven Ashe and the Voices of Nerat shared some bad blood in the Northern Empire, but I don't know any of the particulars. By my authority, the Archons will fall in line. Sounds like the attitude just says this campaign in the right direction. I don't envy you getting the task to get the two to cooperate, which sounds about too easy as teaching a tornado to heal. At least you sound like you know what you're doing. Really ought to meet the Archons. The war tent is just past the center of camp. She nods towards the northeast. One last thing. Be careful around these disfavored types. Take their work seriously. I have suffered too many blows to the head. Hello, guy over there. Hail, Fatebinder, the disfavored scout nods to your approach. Canton up ahead. Don't mind us, just clearing out the rabble. What I still don't understand what I've done to offend. I respect that these are now disfavored lands, but I'm happy to get the Legion a proper toll. But what she's going about trading, right? What nonsense is that? I'm not allowed to trade one thing for another. It's not like I'm selling weapons to angry peasants or anything of the sorts. These are disfavored lands. It's worth every right to kill you. You should be more thankful that you're even listening to you speak. If you lack proper permits, your goods are forfeit. A trade permit? Well, I mean, to whom would I speak to about such a thing? Not us, and not our problem. Maybe march your butt to the bastard city and plead your case before Tunon. But we'll lighten your burden and receive your wares first. I should make the long trek a bit more bearable. You should be thankful they're even listening to you speak. If anyone can argue for Tunon, come here with me. What's there to discuss? We should kill this mongrel and, the warrior pauses, placing her hand in front of her mouth. The fate might wish to weigh in on the matter. Courtesy demands we listen. Soldier clears her throat, looking at you expectantly. This is a disfavored matter, but I know the agents of the court do love to throw their judgments around. Well, you could rob me now, and I have all my supplies today. The merchant grabs a flask from his cart. Or you leave me alive and have fermented honey all year long. I know a few family recipes for painkillers and healing droughts. Certainly any army could use those. Of course, a Saul ceramic vial, the aroma of cloves and laudanum to assault your nose. If I had Lawbreaker, I could say something else. That's what's kind of cool about this game. If you had this stuff, you could do it. You take me for a fool. Those regions are rare around this parts. So I can either call him out with lore, or I can call him out with my hunter ability. I'll do the hunter. I don't. The merchant tenses up, his face red. I don't know what you're getting at. Pick him up by his collar. How stupid do you think I am? Hey, look at that. More experience. Slow down, I'll tell you everything, just don't hurt me. I found almost everything in the forest and the valley. Keep my head low when I hear the sounds of combat, then I take a look, grab whatever wasn't claimed by the first victors. So you stole from disfavored dead. How else did you get your hands on that iron? Scout points to the merchant's cart. You would come here and sell us our own armaments? If everything has an owner, I will return it. This iron would have turned to rust if left in the mud on the battlefield. Disfavored are just a few in number. Is that not right? You need a man like me to gather supplies that would otherwise go to waste. Disfavored will tolerate your presence, but you will pay them handsomely. We will? The disfavored closer clears her throat with a cough before repeating it in a more upbeat manner. We will. It sickens me to make exceptions to this vulture, but if you're supplied disfavored without profit, perhaps this indiscretion is for the best. It's not like our larders are overflowing. A work slave to scrounge the provisions would be an asset. Thank you for interceding on my behalf. I know my life will now depend on the showing the disfavored due gratitude for suffering my presence. If I must growl to earn a bit of daily grain, so be it. And disfavored going to hike off. And I think he's going to become like a merchant. Can I talk to you now? Thank you for talking to disfavored for doing worse. Sad times to live in, to make a humble living is a crime. So lucky I ran across you. Farewell. Well, I'm in your debt swing soon. To get my wares in order, I'll be ready for business. Oh, the guards. Alright, let me in. Well, look at you. Our gatecrasher from the court. This is part of the backstory of the character. I picked fighting with him. Is still in one piece. Guard happily pounds his chest. Welcome to this favored camp. Always happy to have an honored ally pay us a visit. Sorry, but with the helmet hard, it's hard to tell a face. No reason for you to remember me. I was 2 files over, 1 rank behind. The Longbeards and the Legion were so mad at having to, in their word, babysit Tonon's novice. But you fought well. Not as well as us, but certainly better than those dumb pukes in the chorus. Go on in. The Archons are expecting you. We'll find them in the war tent, center of camp. Well, thank you. Always nice to have an ally. Hello, merchant. No, I'm just going to go straight to the Archons. So here is their war tent. I'm going to save the game here.
Hey, over there.
Alright. And now we're in the camp of the Archons. Ooh, they look badass. So that's the Voices of Nerat. And that's Graven Ashe. Yesterday you chilled. Perhaps the voices in your skull ought to come to some consensus if you wish to be taken seriously. Good advice is flexible, changing with the moment. Besides, now we're agreeing with yesterday, you happy to today. We know that you hate going to battle without overwhelming odds on your side. If you're so terrified of a challenge, why wait for reinforcements? I don't need your heckling, I need your scout reports, or better yet, confirmation you quelled the Oathbreakers in the Outer Valley. On that, it will its off. Own time and way, we will make at least one token effort and show them mercy, after all. Mercy? They have already shat before a mercy before. These gluttonous shut-halls. Oh, calm down now. We must leave something to rule. Or have you forgotten Kairos' order? Patience, old chum. That's a Filth Eye. And you are Iron Marshal Iranos. We're just gonna roll in. Hey guys, just joined us here.
Avalanches in the mountains now. The Tearsmen can barely count past 9. They have neither the capacity nor the cause to close off the mountain passes. Either way, that leaves the 2nd and 4th cohort trapped outside the valley.
The Archon of War pounds his staff into the ground to punctuate his words. A large and imposing man to begin with, his profile is made larger still by his hulking suit of armor that hums with mystic energy.
Or it's the work of your perfidious Earthshakers.
I love his voice.
Only a fool would not suspect a traitorous Archon of poisoning the mind of his students with sedition. We would have killed the Earthshakers Guild for their master's treachery, but I'm sure you have some perfectly valid reason for allowing them to live as your pawns.
The Archon of Secrets passes a scepter between his hands as he speaks, twirling the rod in hypnotic circles. You heard the voice in your head. Well, hello there, Fatebinder. We'll be with you in just a moment. I love this rod. Oh my god, the staff is talking to me. That is so cool. I love it. Why did the audio cut out? So, every time you mouse over this, you're going to hear it in your head. Emerald luminescence steeps in the seams of the Archon's ragged red robes. The red glow is noticeable where his neck ought to be. His mask seems to float and spin, never pivoting or bending naturally. He's a handsome sort. This is an old guy.
Hey, watch yourself. When these two get going, you don't want to get between them.
Thank you, Verse. Verse whistles fearfully as she beholds the Archons. I'm just going to go straight to the point. Here to proclaim Kairos' edict. The valley was sealed in preparation for this moment. If you guys forgot, an edict is basically these powerful spells they can cast, and they have an end condition. So like there's Edict of Storms, which like can ravage areas, but it ends when a certain thing happens. So when we take the garrison in Kairos' name, the edict ends. Why didn't you speak up sooner? My Lord Archons, Governor of Lathian's Crossing, has finally arrived. I beg you to cease arguing for a moment. Interesting, so they remember me being the governor. Yeah, no, they remember the part. Everything you do comes back in the game. I'll be respectful to the Archons. Apologies for the sudden entrance. There's a long way to be here.
Ah, the fire starter has arrived. Welcome, welcome.
You gain favor.
Our agents tell us such lovely stories of what you did at the Vellum Citadel. Have you come bearing another fragment of Kairos' wrath in tow?
In 330 TR, the final year of the Conquest of the Tears, sages of Vellum Citadel were expected to surrender without a fight. The sages violently defended themselves and prolonged the siege. Kairos unleashed an edict of fire, reducing the library fortress to some dust. Yeah, this was the fortress eye lit on fire. The yours left vague when you proclaimed the edict. Chose to give the sages a few hours warning. The Scarlet Corps soldiers seemed fine with your decision, claiming they had spies among the sages who deserved to escape. This favored view, decision more coldly, considered coddling the enemy. So Voices of Nerat is happy with me. I like him. I don't want to side with the course, but I think I might.
We were worried you'd never make it. So glad that Drostus' demise didn't cause further delay.
I love him. He's my favorite. The Archon of Secrets turns his attention to you. The frozen rictus fashioned in his bronze max greets you with a permanent smile. So Drostus was the guy that just died. How did you know about Drostus? The Archon of Secret chuckles softly with saying nothing.
The Voices of Nerat has all manner of eyes and ears. It's safer than not to assume he's listening.
Thank you, Verse.
And before you ask, no, I didn't tell him, so stop giving me that look.
I come bearing an edict of
For the
Kairos.
second time, Brother Tunon selects you for the glory of proclamation. You should be honored. Tell us, what has the Overlord decided to unleash upon the Oathbreakers?
This is... Oh, they both respect you, and I think that's kind of crazy. Because they both are going to be like, we're on your side. I like the Voices of Nerat, though. They're kind of fun. Can his staff talk to me anymore? The Overlord loyal servants would hold the Ascension Hall by Kairos' Day of Swords. The valley shall perish. So you need some encouragement to work together. Kairos will end the lives of anyone in the valley unless Ascension Hall is claimed by Kairos' Day of Sword. In honor of your competence and disarray, the edict will execute every living thing in the valley. The Ascension's Day is taken by Kairos' Day of Swords. I'm going to be flat honest with them. The air sways with each word you utter. The air thickens with warmth as you pronounce the tersely phrased commandment, and every syllable drafted by the hand of Kairos. With the edict proclaimed, your pulse quakens and your muscles and your legs, worn from the long trip down the mountains, feel renewed. Your tired limbs now nearly buoyant with vigor. These are laws of Kairos.
To compel us into action. No doubt the avalanches in the mountains are part of this ultimatum. We must conquer the Oathbreakers or die in failure. There is no room for error, and no other way out of this valley alive. We'll need to advance across the Mittani. We lose everything if we stand still, and we move to back up Plan Green. The Earthshakers didn't make it over the mountain in time, so we do this the hard way. Over the walls instead of through.
The Archon of War taps his finger against his temple. Low rumble escapes from under his beard.
So, you found your backbone at last! Oh, we were worried past humiliations would make you soft, timid. That was a record for you, right? The Maker's dozen lost in one sortie. If you had waited for the chorus reinforcements, maybe we'd have eyes and ears on the matter.
The Archon passes the scepter from one hand to the next, chuckling softly with each tossed. Watch him squirm. So many tears over replaceable, expendable, useless soldiers. I miss the old Archon of War. You'd never see a blood echo in a bumbling mess over a few dead killers. He'd use the knuckle bones of his best disciples for jewelry, even made a breastplate out of their dead brother's ribcage. 'Cause that's how a real man deals with grief. I love his staff. Are you too deaf? This is indecision bickering that necessitate this intake. Learn to work together or we're doomed. Ooh, do I call out the Archon? Yeah, let's see what happens.
I second the Fatebinder. Thought you had the memories of one of those Oathbreakers rattling about that bronze gourd of yours. Would Kairos' mighty spy master please enlighten this gathering of allies with some scrap of strategic insight?
The Archon of Secret turns his head to the side until the face of the mask is turned around, and a new face of the mask presents itself facing forward. When the Archon's speech, trilling voice of a younger man can be heard.
Our river was to be the bulwark, but with the Tidecasters slain, what hope remains? It's so cold in here.
Term of the River
Help
suggests
me.
that this is the voice of the late Mittani Javin, ranking officer of the Venturing Guard. The wealthy house of Mittani owned much of her realm, apex before coming to Kairos, and the vast majority in the valley bears the Mittani name. The Archon turns his head from side down till the previous face of his mask is now looking
Our
forward.
sources tell us the Oathbreakers had some sort of magical trick in store. But this knowledge is tinged with fear, trepidation. If we make a move for the Mittani, we
I love him.
suspect the Oathbreakers will mount a counterattack that is equal parts valiant and futile.
That voice, who was it?
That was Mittani Yanev, former noble of Apex and one of the leaders of the Vendrian Guard. Back when they were half respectable enemies that knew how to lose with dignity. When the Guard first surrendered, Yanev presented himself to us. What he knew We now know.
Then enough talking, there's work to be done. My lord, Barrick and his band have drilled on the Echocon assault plan. The Crescent Runners should be briefing him as we speak regarding the latest enemy movements along the river. I'll dispatch him at once. The Iron Marsh sloops, clapping her gauntlet to her breastplate. And I will ensure the chorus stands ready to march. If this favor can take the river, the chorus has the manpower to secure the outer ring of the valley.
Our soldiers clamor for battle, and at last we shall have it. Verse, we command you to continue guarding the Fatebinder. Tunon's chosen is our honored guest, and must be shown our finest hospitality.
Thank you.
I won't let you down, boss. He'll get through the campaign in one piece, as long as he doesn't do anything too stupid.
The Archon throws a scepter at once, then taps on the ground. The more you ignore us. What? When did I ignore him?
Finally, the fool and his puppet are gone. Perhaps now I can hear myself think. Rarely do I question Kairos' judgment, but I will never understand why the Voices of Nerat is given such authority. I shudder to think what will become of us all should Tunon favor him in the end. Though the edict threatens the Scarlet Chorus just as it threatens us, I cannot shake the feeling that our allies will work against us. You've shown your worth in war, and your name has been known to the Legion since the very beginning of this long conquest. So I'd ask, if you wish to be counted amongst the glorious, speak with the Iron Marshal. She will direct the order of battle until we are ready for the final push into the Citadel.
I wanted the Scarlet Chorus. How would they be helping?
I ask myself that question often. When we take the river crossing, the Scarlet Chorus should be using their sizable presence to remove the Oathbreaker patrols lurking in the outer valley.
I would be honored to help. She pauses and clears her throat. And though I'm loath to mention it, the chorus can likely use your assistance. They certainly won't secure the outer valley on their own. Fifth Eye will need something in that rat's nest they call a camp due east. Seek him out if you must. A save. So how am I doing on judgment? Ooh, talent points. Ooh, hello! Level up, Fatebinder. I will up my physical attack a little bit. The Red Viper. Oh, now I can pick a talent. But I want to check how I'm doing with, Graven Ashe. Voices of Nerat was elated by your violence versus words and action. Ah, okay, I see. Of course, some wrath for me in disfavor to have no wrath for me. I'm curious. That was our conversation with them. Now, let me check something. Just like checking some logistical things. Sorry about that. I am going to probably up my strength a little bit, but I need more health. More will defense could not hurt. I am going to probably up my strength. The hell? Alright. Sure, save. Talent points. This is where we're gonna get a lot of fun. These are different abilities. Power, defense, magic. What's the bonus to lore? Plus 10 lore. Done. Easy. Plus 10 lore, straight off the bat. I want to get that as high as possible so I can start making new spells. Hello, guy. Will you talk to me? The Archon of War lets it alongside and surveys the maps and models displayed at his desk. Bends over shoulder, making brief contact to you, furrows his brow and turns back to his contemplation. The first time you proclaimed an edict, you gave the enemy a suspicious amount of time to ready himself. Truck them to accept some mercy for the backwater people. When the edict is against your king, that order you follow to the letter. May we speak a moment? I tire of all the endless prattle. The Archon of War and Overlord has decreed battle. If you wish to help, go speak to my soldiers. Return when you have done something useful. Well.
Can't do that.
You were kind of nice before. Now you're not. What a dick. You're a dick. Alright now. Hello, soldiers. The soldier keeps it different. He sees verse in your party. Huh. Hello, Saventius. By Kairos' iron anus. It's the Fate Firestarter. And those swine folks in the chorus told me you were a pile of ash. I hope this ends in a hug. Launching his arms around your body, he lifts you in the air with his embrace. The North never forgets a friend in need. He places you back down after he scoops you in the air, letting out a soft chuckle. Our little camp is overrun by these southern lepers that the voice adopts along the way. Service points to the brace of choirmen loitering by the edge of the camp. Probably half of them were fuckers we didn't kill the first time through the valley. Troubling thought. Graven Ashe doesn't tell me anything, but I know you're here and on official court business. Iron Marshal's running the logistics on this one. I'm playing slave driver and making sure these patrols stay on schedule. What is it you need? I ever heard you asking the Earthshaker whether their reinforcements have gone. Is there a problem? I'm afraid so. Radek's head of the Earthshakers was supposed to arrive with a group of his most competent spellslingers to help bring this to a stalemate. I don't know what's holding up their arrival, and that worries me. If we're so inclined to lend a hand, we could use some arcane support on our side. Could lend a hand? Could you? I knew that Tunan's agent wouldn't fail us in a time of need. I'll mark the last known side of our Earthshaker reinforcements on your map. Good hunting, Fatebinder. Two armies haven't worked together in years. What makes you think this is going to be different? Come on, Binder. Seems like that's why beasts stink. That his favorite are only too eager to deliver Kairos' peace to the tears, while Scarlet Chorus only maintain mayhem in the wake. You tell me the Voices of Nerat has a plan, and I'll take your word for it. But the chorus seems to blunder around, never moving with purpose as we do. Yeah, you're not wrong. I wonder if they've been fighting the same war soldier. I've seen Ashe yank his precious soldiers away from more battles than he's won. Want to call that progress, be my guest. Unless we find a way to work this one, I feel the Scarlet Chorus will step in front of Graven Ashe's strategies at every turn. As far as I'm concerned, it seems like the Voices are here to amuse himself, while the rest of us are here to do our job. Tell me about yourself. Sorry, Binder. There's no law that can force me into small talk. Want to make friends? Bug someone else. We were friends. Well, shit. Don't look at me. It's not like we had a standing army ready to tackle these idiots. Legion has spread too thin across the tiers. Farewell. Welcome back, Fatebinder. All good. I like how he was my friend for a couple minutes.
Yes.
Earthshakers are the mages, I see. Hello, Horde. Bitter quip. Glory to the Voices of Nerat. Taking a solution for all to hear. The grinning Bloodchanter wraps himself against the ground as you approach. Fatebinder, Red Viper, I presume. His smile quickly retreats, giving to a sour scowl. I am Bitter Quip. I am here as the emissary of the Scarlet Chorus. What can you tell me of the Scarlet Chorus? Chorus is the future of the tears. Thus I feel the only diversion and pity for those who fear our inevitable ascension. What's your role? I'm a Bloodchanter. My magic can flow into the will of man and tie to battle. I've held command for 3 years now, though me being forced to keep an eye on the disfavored is not the reward I've envisioned for my service thus far. Sounds like you really like the Voice of Nerat. He is the Supreme Commander and Public Servant. This is who the Voice of Nerat is. He sets us free but directs all. Voice of Nerat is an epitome of what Ephus can be, a magician without equal and a leader of uncountable numbers. How'd you join the Scarlet Chorus? Doctrine of Strength speaks to me, and answered a call, as it did some of my arcane peers. I took the chorus honestly, unlike most. I cried not for the life of the comfort lost to me. Magic folks fear and terror. I easily established my dominance over my pack in my early days in the chorus. Thank you, Bitter Quip. Here's a weird guy. I imagine those are... Yeah, these are Scarlet tents. And just because they have the disfavored symbol, like, crossed out.
Sorry, I can't.
We're going this way. They all do. Weird. Alright, well, that's what we're going to call it for today. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, subscribe if you enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Peace out. Goodbye.